We're going to start with a number, minus 50%. Now, that is a huge drop, but a drop in what exactly? Well, it's a drop in something so critical to your body that honestly, you wouldn't survive without it.
That's right. By the time you reach middle age, your levels of a coenzyme called NAD+ have plummeted. I mean, they're cut in half from what they were when you were young. So what is NAD+? Think of it like your body's essential on-call 24/7 cellular maintenance crew. It's absolutely vital for everything from making energy to repairing your DNA. And the problem is, as we get older, that crew just gets smaller and smaller.
And this, of course, leads us to the billion-dollar question that scientists are scrambling to answer. If we could somehow restore those NAD+ levels, could we actually slow down, or maybe even reverse, some parts of aging? The first clues are really starting to point in an exciting direction.
But first, we need to understand a massive shift in thinking that's happened. For pretty much the first time in history, the scientific establishment is starting to look at aging not just as something inevitable, but as a condition that could be targeted and, yeah, maybe even treated. And that simple reframing changes everything.
The real game changer was in June 2018. Before then, aging was just, a fact of life. But then, the World Health Organization officially classified it as a disease. And that decision? It opened the floodgates for research and funding, all aimed at creating actual therapies to fight back against age-related decline.
So let's just properly define our main character here, NAD+. It's a coenzyme found in every single one of your cells, and it is fundamental to life. It fuels these critical proteins that act like cellular guardians, helping manage the whole show from energy to DNA repair. Its decline is now seen as one of the key hallmarks of the aging process itself.
So if our NAD+ levels are dropping off a cliff, what can we do about it? How do we bring them back up? Well, the answer might be in a very specific molecule that acts as a direct precursor. It basically feeds the assembly line that produces NAD+. And this could be the hero of our story.
So let me introduce you to NMN, or Nicotinamide Mononucleotide. Because it's a direct precursor to NAD+, it gives your body the exact raw materials it needs to build more. So if NAD+ is the maintenance crew, think of NMN as calling in fresh reinforcements. Now, you do get a little bit of NMN from your diet from foods like broccoli and avocados. But here's the thing, the amounts are tiny. I mean, you'd have to eat pounds and pounds of this stuff to really move the needle. And that's exactly why researchers are so focused on what direct supplementation might do.
So how does this actually work? How does NMN get from, say, a capsule into your cells where it can actually do its job? The biological journey is actually pretty cool.
Okay, so once you ingest it, NMN gets absorbed super quickly, and it turns out there's a recently discovered, highly specific transporter. You can think of it like a special VIP doorway that ushers NMN right into our cells. Once it's inside, bam, it's immediately converted into NAD+, refilling the tank and getting that maintenance crew back up to full strength.
But here's the catch, and it's a big one. Aging kind of hits us with a double whammy. It's not just that our NAD+ levels are dropping, our body's ability to even convert NMN into NAD+ gets worse too. And that's why researchers are so interested in seeing if direct supplementation can help us leapfrog over that age-related bottleneck.
This all sounds great in theory, right? But what about the proof? Well, the most astonishing evidence we have so far comes from studies on mice. And let me tell you, the results are pretty jaw-dropping.
In these animal models, NMN had a just stunning effect on metabolism. It basically made older mice act more like younger ones. It helped them resist putting on age-related weight and dramatically improve their energy and how well they handled insulin.
And the benefits didn't stop there. They were system-wide, from protecting the heart against injury to restoring function in aging muscles and even improving their vision. The effects just seem to be incredibly widespread.
And this part might be the most exciting of all. NMN showed really powerful neuroprotective effects. So in mouse models of Alzheimer's, it actually slowed down cognitive decline, helped neurons survive longer, and kept the all-important blood-brain barrier intact. This shows that boosting NAD+ isn't just about one organ, it seems to be about the whole system. And one of the most fascinating little details from all the research is this. Older mice seem to get more benefit from NMN than the younger mice do. This really suggests that the molecule goes where it's needed most, targeting the very deficits that come along with getting older.
Okay. The results in mice are just incredible. No doubt about it. But that leads to the one question that really, truly matters for every single one of us.
So yeah, here it is, the big question. What about us? Can these amazing effects that we're seeing in mice actually translate to our own lives? Well, the very first human trials are underway as we speak, and the early signs, they're compelling.
You have leading Harvard researcher David Sinclair, who's a huge pioneer in this field, and he actually takes NMN himself. He's reported that at nearly 60 years old, his blood markers look more like those of a 31-year-old. Now, sure, that's anecdotal, but it's a pretty powerful personal story from one of the scientists at the absolute forefront of this discovery. And then there's another key researcher, Dr. Shinichiro Imai. He predicts that NMN could realistically improve an adult human's metabolism to the point where it looks more like that of someone 10, maybe even 20 years younger. I mean, the potential here is just profound.
So this brings us full circle, back to our huge idea. By targeting something so fundamental to aging, this decline of NAD+, you really have to ask the question, are we on the verge of not just treating the diseases of old age, but treating the process of aging itself? I guess only time and more human trials will tell.